Hi, Dr. Windish from Wellness today. Welcome to my video series for students and patients. Today what I want to talk about is the safety of the COVID vaccine, because there's a lot of stuff that's out there. There's a lot of things that are talked about on social media and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. We want to kind of just put some of those myths to rest right now. So let's start by talking about the vaccines and what they do. So there's 3 vaccines on the market in the United States right now. In all 3 cases, they trick the body into making a small piece of the COVID vaccine or a small piece of the COVID virus. Once they make that virus, or once your body starts to make that virus, your immune system then responds to that and makes antibodies that attack and kill the virus before it can make you sick. So the questions that come up are, can I get COVID from the COVID vaccine? And the answer is absolutely not. There's no live virus in the COVID vaccine. It's just a small piece of COVID that your body gets tricked into making. And only temporarily do you make that small piece of COVID. And it's not enough to be able to put a full virus together. You can't get COVID from it. The other big myth I've heard is, does the COVID virus vaccine alter your body's DNA somehow, your genetic code? And the answer again is absolutely not. The first 2 vaccines that were on the market, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, those vaccines use a small piece of RNA that enters the cell that never gets into the nucleus of your cell where your DNA is kept and never gets anywhere near your DNA. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine that just got approved does contain a small piece of viral DNA, and that DNA does enter the nucleus of your cell, but it doesn't attach to your own DNA. It doesn't alter your own DNA. It does get replicated in there like DNA for a few days until it finally dies out, but at no point does it actually change your DNA. All right, so what are the valid side effects of the COVID virus vaccine? What things do we need to watch for? Well, you can be allergic to anything. My son just had a life-threatening reaction to cedar pollen when he was out camping. We didn't know he had allergies. He went out camping. He swelled up like a bad balloon and had trouble breathing. Had to go to the hospital. Who knew? Can you be allergic to the COVID vaccine or parts of it? Yeah, you could. What are the chances of that happening? They're pretty doggone slim. You're much more likely to be allergic to cedar. Thank goodness. But it can happen, which is why you hear stories of people being asked to stick around the doctor's office for a few minutes after the vaccine, so that if you do have a reaction, the doctors will know what it is and they can do something about it. Pretty doggone rare. It can give you fever. Can make you achy. Usually that lasts no more than a day. Can make you tired. Usually no more than a day. Rarely it can make you throw up. Usually lasting no more than a day. It can give you a sore arm or swelling in the arm. Usually lasts no more than a couple of days and doesn't result in lack of use of the arm in the meantime. Really, those are the big side effects, as opposed to COVID itself, which has all sorts of nasty effects, including stroke and hearing voices and becoming psychotic and dying and permanent lung damage and damage to your heart. That all comes from the real virus, and that is almost all prevented by the vaccine. So what are my recommendations on the vaccine? Soon as it's available to you, recommend you get it. Absolutely. I got mine and my staff got ours as soon as it was available to us, and I recommend the same to you. If it's available, absolutely get the vaccine. The next question is, what about people that are immune compromised? Should they get the vaccine? Well, if you're severely immune compromised, the vaccine may not work real well. If it's a temporary thing and that immune compromise is going to wear off, well, then wait. If you just received immune globulin, especially if you've recently received anti-COVID immune globulin, there's no point getting the vaccine. That immune globulin will bind up the vaccine before your body responds to it. Wait for 90 days for that immune globulin to go away, and then get the vaccine. But otherwise, really, there's very few reasons why you shouldn't get the vaccine. If your number comes up and it's available to you, get it. This is Dr. Windish. I hope this helped. We'll talk again next time.